Evening, how are we doing? She snores apparently. Wonderful. And we're all getting on. Hope you're all well. Every time. I even cleaned them earlier and all. This little frame of blur. There we go. I'll let it. Hang on. This is not going so well right now. There we go, that's better. Right. Yeah, okay. We're functioning. How are we all getting on? Evening Rob, evening Blender, evening Sarah, Dentugo, how are we doing? PC? Doing good, thanks Rob. Yeah. Looking forward to a bit of gaming. Get me head balanced again, apparently. Mouse wake up a bit. 76. I suspect that this next quest we have lined up is the Fractured Steel part of the Steel Dawn update. I suspect there's going to be more released later that would have been part of Fractured Steel, but I'm pretty sure this one quest is at least. As we have a transmitter to go and find. A nice productive day today. I've had a lot lined up, a lot of tasks to do throughout the week. Some of them are time dependent, I can't do them until I can do them. But the stuff I had to do earlier on, I ended up being well ahead of. Like, this morning, all I had to do was start my build, and I could have potentially started decorating it, the one I've got for the weekend. But I decided to take a couple of hours and chill. But yeah, I got that done, and it's like, okay, I had a couple of hours this morning, I had a couple of hours this afternoon, either side of it, And I just had, it's been quite a breeze so far today. It's going to pick up in 4 hours from now, but yeah, I'm well ahead of where I expected to be, which is nice. I've actually done some stuff that I wasn't entirely planning to do. So yeah, feeling good about my success this week. Glad to hear you're doing well, Belinda. Mind you, we'll see how tonight, tomorrow and Friday go. Those are also going to be pretty darn intense. Sort of lull now, and then it's going to pick back up again this evening. So, but technically one could argue it's picking back up again now, but all good. Feeling good about it. This thing I roll in. Yeah, good, thanks, Steve. Hope you're all well. Welcome, welcome. Mind you, I had an interesting incident this afternoon. Ran myself a bath. Don't go drink as you do, and came back to check on it. It was brown. Not what I had in mind. And that was a bit of an issue with the water system. I got several text messages. I actually drained it and then refilled it and it was fine. But several text messages this afternoon off my local water board saying, yeah, we've got a few issues. You might notice some problems. Looking at my phone like, yeah, my shit, mate. But, yeah, that was an experience for the day. So, we roll in. Am I going to stream Cyberpunk? Yes, tomorrow. I'm going to make a video on it tonight. But I'll be streaming it tomorrow night. I'm not staying up all night to stream it tonight. I'm kind of staying up all night to make a video on it instead. But it will be for the best if I do it that way, I think. Yeah. Looking forward to it. Looking forward to my nose stopping itchy as well. Right, so we need to go and talk to Scribe Valdez. But I need to double check. I've got a reasonable amount of corn soup. Plenty of water. Ammo sitch is acceptable. I think we can work with that. Let's just... I think I repaired my gear actually last time, didn't I? Yep, that looks good. How's my armour looking? Like I repaired it, cool. So that was surprisingly good planning on my part. Just going to speak to Valdez. Watch out, you can't block the nudity in it. Yes, you can. Although it doesn't really matter. It just might mean I have to appeal a few dumbassery parts on YouTube then. But there is a setting in there to block it. It's possible it doesn't work, but there's a lot of shit being talked about the game that is just blatantly not true out there at the moment, so... Let's go and have a word with Valdez, who I think wants to talk to the Paladin and the Knight and set up our next mission. You had no water for 6 hours yesterday, Taki. Really? Ew, that's a crock. Yeah, fun time. So you sent a message today you might have an issue tomorrow. Yeah, that's a little wide of the mark. I assume they meant another issue as they fixed the old issue, but yeah, that's a crap day. Could be worse. So, Valdez.
Have you talked to the others recently? I've been trying to get a moment with them, but things
I'm over
are
here,
still
honey.
so busy. Seems our time slots never align.
You know, she,
Staying safe out there. Have you talked to the others recently?
Oh, she's looking at me this
I've
time.
been trying to get a moment with them, but things are still so busy. Seems our
Stuff's
time
not quite
slots never
lining up there,
align.
which is why that'll be happening. They just said, come and get you.
It's my lucky day. Come with me.
Seen some other YouTubers do it this morning and there wasn't the setting. I've seen other YouTubers doing it this morning, there was, so I think they didn't look hard enough. But I'll be prepared either way. I do appreciate the warning. Like I say, I've heard a spectacular amount of bullshit
Paladin?
about it in the last
Knight?
48 hours that I
You
don't
wanna
believe
hear
for a
this?
second. So.
I picked up a low-frequency signal in the area.
Usual crap
It's
is out there.
weak, but I'm close to narrowing down the coordinates. If we can find and boost the source of that signal, we might be able to use it to get in touch with California.
Oop.
That's
Yeah, a bit there.
excellent news, Scribe Valdez. Follow up with me as soon as you have the coordinates.
What's this about? I thought I made it clear that our first priority is strengthening our presence in Appalachia.
My apologies, Paladin. The Knight kept talking about Elder Maxon's orders, so I set up a signal tracer to run in the background. It was my own initiative.
This isn't a field trip, Paladin. When we left, Elder Maxon ordered us to restore communications as soon as we arrived in Appalachia.
He's a tit.
You've delayed that order long enough.
Not your decision to make, dickhead.
Since our arrival, every last ounce of my effort has gone toward establishing the Brotherhood as an effective force of action in Appalachia. Everything we've done here has been necessary. And before Valdez's report, we had no leads on a long-distance communicator.
We would still have no leads if it were up to you.
Enough, Shin. We have a lead now. Let's focus on that. You said you're close to tracking down the signal, Valdez? Why don't we have our reliable initiate assist you?
Okay. I'll be in my workshop when you're ready.
Ad Victoriam, initiate.
These guys got anything to say
Do you have
about
any
it?
questions about your duties?
Yeah. There's a whole load of stuff there, but it's not really relevant to what's going on right now. I imagine it's true of Xion as well. But... chase him.
Things would be different. This had better be important.
No.
Ad Victoriam.
Nothing particularly interesting to add. Was a relatively reasonable moment from Xion.
Weapon may keep me safe, but it doesn't make these repairs go any faster.
Hope those kids
Bring
we
any
picked
new
up are
finds
doing
today?
okay. What were their names again? Started with an M.
Everything in the atom shop just because.
Old world science solved a lot of
The Elton shop, computer consoles. Oh yeah, I did see them actually. I'll have a look at them. Let's. I should see that now while I remember. Turn the sound. Ooh, the map out because I brain ache. Atom shop. Yeah, I did have a look at it earlier actually, briefly. Locker's alright, but it's not enough to make that expenditure worth it. Modular community mainframe's quite cool. Mixed feelings about paying 700 for it. I haven't got any atoms at the minute anyways. Probably won't pick that up. Carpet's not bad. I actually quite like this blue one. It looks quite cool. Don't know that it goes with anything, but it does look quite cool. I like this lamp. Don't really know what you'd use it for, but I like it. There's an Nixie tube wall lamp as well. I didn't realise that. That makes it look actually considerably more reasonable if there's 2 items in there. Deck fan, wouldn't mind having that. That's a nice little bit of decoration for your camp. And these artificial trees are quite cool, but they're huge. They're only really practical in a few sets of circumstances. But we may pick some up eventually.
Order, learning, protection. I have everything I need here.
I had no idea what was going on, Taki. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Ever was.
You have a theory that they never get in touch either, that they'll never get in touch either way, okay?
One day I'll make night. Then I'll.
That would make an interesting point. Yeah, that is a good point. The fact that there's no references to the Appalachian Brotherhood and any others. That would be a good way of explaining it if they never actually managed to get back in touch.
My mission.
Arguably, that would make a canon ending that Paladin Romani wins out, and that they never do make contact again.
The Scorched, the Raiders, the Ghouls. If anything tries to attack, we'll be
Lights on the
ready.
main are good. Yeah, it is a lot. Normally I'd probably go for it, but now is not the
Protect
time.
and preserve.
These are lights as well. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, most of the lockers. But there's another set of similar lockers that have a different skin that snap together as well. That's quite cool. But a bit much for it, for a single item.
Sorry you had to see that. Let's get down to business, shall we? If we can find the source of the signal I detected, we should be able to use it to send a message to Elder Maxon on the west coast. I tracked the signal to an area northwest of Vault 76. You'll need to go and check it out in person. Maybe you'll get lucky. But I suspect the source of the transmission won't be easy to find. Devices that transmit at this frequency are rare. The only ones I know of were built at advanced military facilities.
Signals weak, will it still work?
I'm glad you asked. It may not work in its current state, but do you remember what we found in the Atlas substructure? An
I
incredibly
do.
powerful compact ultrasite battery cell. With one of those, we could easily boost the transmitter back to its full function. Lucky for us, I've just managed to reverse engineer the cell. Think of this as its final test.
Most companies as a non-profit, that'd certainly be a bonus, yeah. Alternatively, they'll just strike them from the records. Possibility, yeah. That would cover it as well.
We need to understand the past as well.
To be fair, I don't think they'll actually have a canon version on it. They certainly haven't done with Wastelanders, so. Interesting. At least not a canon that stretches outside of Appalachia, anyway. Can we use another transmitter?
Because other transmitters don't reach that far. The one they were using at Fort Defiance is out of commission. Permanently. But low-frequency signals like the one I'm detecting, they travel incredible distances, even passing through mountains and oceans without a hitch. During wartime, they were used to transmit signals to submarines. Pretty cool, right?
I remember that line. Some of these I don't remember that clearly, but that one did stick with me. Who's Elder Maxon? Why is Xion so concerned? Why is Xion so
It was one
concerned?
of our orders. After setting up in Appalachia, we were to re-establish contact, make a report, and receive our next assignment. It's not that the Paladin has directly disobeyed that order, but she's been more focused on helping Appalachia. Being in that position, as the leader of this whole operation, I can't even imagine how much she has to think about. I'm just trying to support both her and the Knight as much as I can. And hopefully, get them back on the same page.
That guy's beard is quite cool. What's going on with them?
After all you've done for us, I suppose you deserve an answer. Their relationship has been rocky since a certain incident on our journey here. It's kind of a sensitive topic for everyone. I thought they'd be able to work things out over time, but it's only gotten worse. honestly kind of worried. But maybe contact with Elder Maxon will get them back on track. I hope it does.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. Let's do it.
Stay safe out there. We'll be right on your tail.
That's painful. Yeah, I'd imagine, Kay, that probably Xion will end up leaving and setting up somewhere else with some of the initiates that are a bit more militantly supporting his opinion. And they'll divide into two factions. We'll have to pick one or the other, and though the other one will presumably be sort of present, you won't be able to enter their stronghold or
Never gonna make a name for myself holding down the fort.
interact with them outside of like the actual quests. Once you've made a decision, you do the quests, and that's it. You're shut out of their place.
The elders have
Would be a way of making it a decision that had a consequence. You know,
someday.
that'll be my guess with what they'll do. Sounds like fun, Belinda. Just what you need.
I wonder.
Won't be broke, but if we jam an ultrasonic fusion source in there hard enough, it'll fix anything. Yeah, that is a bit weak. Cinnamon. She's a sweetheart. No, I can fast travel all the way there this time. That's nice. Convenient. Evening, Kenji. How are you doing? Yeah, I think using trains for expeditions would be a great idea, Cade. It'd be nice use of the world and nice little setup. They could set up little Brotherhood outposts around wherever the trains leave from, and it would allow you to cover larger areas of ground in a reasonable amount of time. I'd be generally in favour of that approach. Yeah, it's not like there's any consequences anyway. Yeah, and if they order her to step down and she refuses, same situation they're in anyway. So that's assuming she knew about it, that she'd been ordered to step down. Didn't want to leave away from your game, yeah. I've got to admit, as much as I despise Xion, and I would personally like to, you know, drown him in a toilet or something, it's a really good piece of writing to create a character that is that much of a dick and that people have that strong a reaction to, so that's always cool. Evening, Grey, how are you doing? Bit late today, consequences of having the rest of the week off. You have a lion. Great. Sure you've earned it. Evening, Ash. How are we doing? How are we doing, Matt? Oh, yeah, my nose is tickling something chronic tonight. Why? Someone needs to get here ASAP. Serious security issue. Couple of scavs came poking around last night. Waltzed right through the laser grid. My best guess is the storm not power out. Completely reset the system. May just be a security guard, but shouldn't this have been tested? For crying out loud, we have a circuit breaker just outside the building. I'm going to need backup if someone with real firepower tries to get in here. Reset the power. And I can scan my non-existent hand.
Welcome, valued Enclave member.
Nice. Supposed to open it. I don't know if I closed the door or if it did it automatically. Access hatch into the transmitter facility. Yeah, that does seem slightly over the top, Steve. Yes. I demolished my entire house, along with the rest of the street, and replaced it with a giant swimming pool. The only thing I left standing was the tap I filled it from. Week off ticket, nice. But yeah, they couldn't make you take it over Christmas period, unless you have that off as well. Yo. You mean you're not turning a page? Unless you make a strange reference to a book. Yes, a certain game does come out tonight. So I'm not expecting much sleep, but seeing as I'm not getting particularly great sleep at the minute anyway. It's going to happen at a time, at least it's a convenient time. Yeah, doing good, thanks, Matt.
Task 151977. J. Rodriguez. Lower temperature to 20 degrees Celsius in the lab. Task complete. Please verify. Task queue interrupted. It seems as though we have a visitor. Welcome to Enclave Research Facility Site J. May I ask the reason for your visit today?
You're not going to try and kill me, are you?
Negative. My creators programmed me to assist visitors with extreme kindness and hospitality.
You're not going to try and kill me with kindness, are you? Need to access your transmitter.
Interesting. Not like the others. Very well. Task entered. Estimated wait time, 14,320 hours, 12 minutes.
Interesting eyebrow. What character would that be? You get paid time off for holidays. Nice. That's not so bad. Worse things than being told to take time off. Being told you can't take time off, it brings to mind. 76 was the last time you pre-ordered a game. Or the last one I pre-ordered was. Jedi Fallen Order, maybe? The Outer Worlds? Not sure. Somewhere around there. Might be something else, but I don't think there was. General of the Enclave, give me access now.
Affirmative, General. Priority adjusted. New estimated wait time, 6,598 hours, 42 minutes.
This is ridiculous. We need access now.
I do apologize, but you must wait in the queue with everyone else.
No other way for us to get
You may
access?
manually activate the transmitter via the communication center. However, I do not recommend that. It is a very long walk. In the meantime, if you wish to tour the facility, please enter decontamination to your left.
It's a very long walk, huh? You mean over there? I assume she means the transmitter wherever it is at the top of the tower or whatever. Or that the actual transmission point is not here, but somewhere else, even if the controls for it are here. Yeah, there's nothing about that that looks like a good place to be going.
That all visitors enter decontamination. Do not worry. It will be quick and painless.
Fair enough. As far as I'm aware... As far as I'm aware, anything involving Blackhand is just what was set up in the tabletop game, but...
R. Wiggins. Turn on the goddamn lights in the living quarters. Task complete. Please verify.
Oh yes, more rads and... Oh, I've got my cave diving suit. That was not the plan. This was the plan. Hidden flag under the ground near a small camp by Helvetia. As in underground? Underground? How we doing, Hype, right? Frog in my throat. Need to figure out something that eats frogs so it'd send it in after it. Diamond City pennant. Interesting. Ooh, crikey. It was brighter than anticipated. I'm not going to go through and pick up every bit of scrap this time. I'll just pick up a few most valuable bits, let's see.
Warning. Biological hazard detected in the research lab. Please, evacuate immediately.
Love the little tonal things that are going on with Solus' voice. Keep the deadly gas. I don't feel that'll be that difficult to do. Did I have to pick this last time or did I not? Guess I must have done. Pick or hack, whichever you prefer. Wow. Yeah, as far as I know though, bro, that's still the case. They haven't done anything to overrule that. Be the whole idea behind setting up with the creators of the... Hang on. Yeah, that was the whole idea behind working with Mike Pondsmith and stuff, or being Mike Pondsmith's allowing them to work with him to have the IP.
Before it gets upset.
Feed the giant moth subject before it gets upset.
Subject missing.
Yeah, the whole idea behind him giving them permission to use the IP was that he gets to direct their lore stuff, so... What I understand rightly, he gets smashed by Adam. Silverhand. Or got, I should say, past tense, given the timing of the game. Right, off that way, isn't it? And then it comes around and back out up top. There's the moth subject's escape. Or the place it escaped from, rather. It would be nice if we could actually see it bust out of it. I may have just missed it twice, but I don't think it's something we can witness. Making your coffee with a Bunsen burner, I like it. Correct use of a Bunsen burner. Prologue's cutscene heavy, I wouldn't be surprised. Most people are not that well up on the lore, I shouldn't imagine. Given the sheer volume of it. Right, yes. Nastiness occurring.
Task 000. Unknown user. Priority 1. Open all cell doors in the holding cell area.
Unknown user wants to open the doors. Wonder who the unknown user is. Sodus itself or somebody else up to something? I see the Sodus. This is a scorched Wendigo. Oh, it's supposed to be a glowing Wendigo, but it looks to be a scorched one. I'm going to go with my assumption that they were experimenting with the scorched plague in here, amongst others. I think they were. Oh no, Sodus pumps the scorched plague in here, doesn't she? Crazy robot. Lovely, snally up. What the unholy fuck is this thing? Every test run has come back inconclusive. This is what the world at the top is like now. I'll just stay down here. Punk looks nasty. I'm going to sneeze.
Task 151980. D. Evans. Raise temperature in the lab to 22 degrees Celsius. Task complete. Please verify.
I assume somebody's got a competition with their colleague over what temperature the thermostat should be at, and that's what she's referencing there. Watch the chickens very closely. I can live with that. Setting the scene is fine. There's a lot of scene to set. We'll see how it goes. I'm all in favour of story and lore heavy anyway, so it's all good from my point of view. Oh look, cave crickets. And rad rats, actually. I'm not a fan of those, really, either. They're slightly annoying. Anybody know if you get back in down here after the quest's over? There's a lot of loot. Thought I'd taken the wrong door for a minute there. I haven't. Yeah, I was wondering what you were on about there, guy. the paste. I'm not eating the paste. Nothing that is fit for human consumption should be that colour, ever.
Task
Especially not in a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
K. Jones. Increase barometric pressure in holding cell 2C to 2400 millibards. Error. Unknown term. Millibards. Please resubmit task.
Millibars. Yeah, we'll see. I'll be playing through it anyway, so, well, sort of. I'll be playing through one of them on my own time, and probably the other on stream. Actually, I'll probably play through the prologue twice, sooner or later on stream, but we'll see. Okay, Pablo, how would I rate this game? Pretty good, really. Big. I have a lot of fun with it. New content's a little on the short side, but otherwise it's pretty good. Door just mysteriously opened. It didn't break out. Means it was released. High-powered minigun, huh? Still don't want it, but... Let's go. Disgusting. Going to be able to get out. Get to check the chickens. Again? Dead chicken. Check the chickens. Didn't end well for you, did it? I'm guessing the Deathclaw got out. Was let out, massacred everybody in here, wandered around, and eventually got locked back in when it wandered back into its cell. Nothing around the shelter today. Yeah, I know the feeling, eh? Hyper. Find the... Oh, I see why to check the chickens. Possibly check the Deathclaw. Apparently not. I'm guessing the chicken doesn't have it. Clearly not. I must have found it last time, but I assume it's on a desk or something somewhere. Oh, there we go. When we returning, we've already arranged things with Williams. He should have already reported to the colonel that I had an accident on our last run. People treat us like shit. Oh, these people treat us like shit. For what? We risk everything to bring back these grotesque creatures for them to poke and prod. How many have we lost already? You can't easily do. No, this world isn't entirely the hellscape we make it out to be. Change your mind, you know where I'll be. Wes. Can revisit. Nice.
There you are. Welcome back. My apologies. My residents must have had a good reason to open all those cells at the time.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. Finished your shelter yesterday, Belinda. Nice. Yeah, I'd imagine they will bring in a Christmas decoration bundle. They've got the stuff that they used last time round, so they'll probably, at the very least, put that back, and I'd imagine there'll be some new stuff. Yeah, I didn't see any issues in the stream I was watching. Mind you, I didn't watch that much of it. I didn't really want to spoil anything for myself, but the only technical issue I actually saw was installing the day one patch. That was only because of oh shit, I should have done that already moment. Life is full of those. There's a small shelter, a few living quarters and building is the second largest one. The lobby. Cool. We ran out of budget doing that. Crikey, must have worked hard to do that. Wait for some Brotherhood stuff. Yeah. Oh dear, but the computer bundle today because you wanted the lights, lamps, spotlights, and computers. 0,000 atoms for the whole thing. Yeah. It does disappear quite quickly. That's exactly why they have you buy it with atoms, not real money. Not that I'm just looking at Bethesda there, that's true of every company that does a in-game currency like that. They do it so you'll spend it more easily. Yeah, I saw the gingerbread furniture. I didn't see the electric fireplace. That's not bad. It's worth grabbing that. Got a decent mantelpiece on it as well. Although it's a bit of an odd thing. Screams for he does not know.
Your nutrients must
Oh,
be running
dear.
low. Please, help yourself to any supplies you need.
Suspicious food. It's labelled suspicious, I'm not going to eat it. You have to be mad to. Really? Certainly not going to eat anything that has somebody's dead body right. But you ought to assume a correlation of that.
Please forgive the mess. The residents became rather unruly after the accident.
Accident. Yeah. I mean, the one where you went nuts and massacred them all. I lost the door. Not exactly a weapon designed for headshots, is it?
151982 G. Walton. Provide status of water recycling system. Duplicate issue.
Oh, got him. Clear out the Scourge. Surprise, lads. Nice. Yeah, go. Oh, you didn't get me. I just ran out of battery for me going. Got him. Keep on coming, these lads, don't they? Bloody railings. But you know, every gamer's existence. Well, I this to look any different.
But there are more.
I think it did.
It would be a shame if they finished you off.
Charming as always. Few bits and pieces in here with copper in it, which is always a bonus. Remember there being an exit, but I do not remember where the exit is. Oh, more goodies. Music's pretty awesome down here. Very dramatic and moody. Fireplace is a must buy. It is good. Picked it up last year though, so got a few people asking about it. I remember that much. Think the pace will give me super sight. Yeah. Even for real? What gun am I going with? What? In Fallout? I've got an anti-armor Gatling plasma on the go at the moment. Quite fond of it. Not quite got as much range as I might like, but does fairly good work.
Task denied. System operating as expected.
Yeah. Crazy machine. AI, so never end well. Or it never goes well, or some variation thereof. Causing double figures. Yeah, I picked a few up. This character has a decent number. Used to use laser Gatling lasers on this character, so it was good to have a few around. Aww. Like I saw something and then I missed it. Something in my head that I noticed that I didn't really register. I don't know. Oh well. Feeling it was an alarm clock somewhere, but Maybe I did pick it up. I imagined it. Internet crashed. Restarted your modem and it working fine, Hyper. Yeah, it happens to me on occasion. I think it's just because basically, from what I understand, it's just because your modem's basically a mini computer in and of itself. Same thing happens to a PC if you don't turn it off once in a while. Electric absorption perk. Yeah, that's a good point as well. I forgot I had that. Do I have that? I'll check in a minute. I've murdered my way through this slightly moist corridor.
Task 151984. J. Jefferson. Disable security
Nice.
cameras in the mainframe core. Task denied.
What want to do? Yeah, I do have electric absorption on. Thought I might have swapped it out for something, but clearly not. Must be helping me out. Yeah, so this is a bit nuts. Mind you, so is Modus, so something clearly went wrong in the programming along the way there. Oh, I read something about that, for real. Former Israeli scientist, or a government defense type scientist, said an interplanetary group of aliens, kind of collective, had been in contact with the American and Israeli governments, but didn't want the rest of the world to know because we're not ready. Which I suppose is theoretically possible. No. What the hell, man? Pull the trigger, but nothing came out. Sad thing is, this alien story is not the dumbest thing I've heard this week. If only it were. If only that had given me a person-shaped outline on the wall where his blood splattered. Quite amusing watching that splash out. Interestingly, it didn't splash on the door, just on everything else. Possibly because it's just something to do with the way the game interprets a doorway, I suppose. But yeah, no splash on the door, just everywhere else. Never noticed that before. Daily sport found a statue of Elvis on the moon. Yeah, that sounds about right. Good to know, Dark Sun. You got 2-shot as well. Nice. This one's not 2-shot, but it's 3-star, I think. Forgot. Yeah. Faster movement speed while aiming, faster fire rate. That's a pretty good combo. Can't complain about that setup, really. That's Gatling plasma. Yeah, that would certainly carve through them. I'm good, thanks, Dark Sun. Yeah? Hope you're well. Bint. Okay. Just start thinking about Cockney rhyming slang. Other regional phrases and the like. Really don't seem so odd after that. Vampire Gatling plasma, nice.
Warning. Visitor detected in restricted area. Security, please assist.
I wouldn't mind having a vampire's Gatling plasma as like a backup weapon for occasions when you go up against something that's tough, but you don't need to take it down quickly. Ooh. But anti-armor is definitely the way if you're on the clock. Vampire's explosive. Nice. So that will be legacy, will it not? Your plasma weapons are not supposed to be explosive. Oh, boss chap. Forgot about him. He didn't last very long, did he? Mind you, none of them do against this particular gun. Happens to be an absurdly overpowered drop I got somewhere. Actually, to be fair, I think I got this absurdly overpowered drop on a different character and transferred it across. Sufficiently good. I thought that guy was already dead. Good job, it's just a scorch. I'll if I find the stairs. Evening, Gubby, alright? The armor, limb damage and reduced weight. Yeah, that's a good combo as well. Particularly the limb damage. We got perks that reduce the weight on heavy guns anyway, so... Mind you, that's a perk you don't have to equip, I suppose, so swings and roundabouts. Control Station Enclave. Transmission controls disabled by mainframe, contact administrator. Find a way to use transmitter. Admin console. Reset comm system. Disable by mainframe. Register user for access. Yeah, by power armored handprint.
Registration successful.
Warning, you have no fingerprints. Yeah, about that. Queen's Bane. I like it. Yeah, I thought it might be. 28.8. Okay, that's heavy. Heavier than I thought, actually. .88. Yeah, that'll be the perk doing good work, I guess. Here we go. Circuit complete.
The facility. I wonder how long it's been hidden here.
Oh, he's got
Don't
a
already.
laser.
The people of Appalachia deserve to know about this.
We've hardly breached the surface of this place, Paladin. There's no telling how dangerous it is for trained personnel, let alone civilians.
I'm quite aware of how dangerous it may be. It's all the more reason to spread the word. The people must be allowed to make their own informed decisions.
I'll hold my tongue for the sake of the mission. There's the Initiate. Let's hope they've done a thorough sweep of the area.
To be honest, on that one I come down somewhere in the middle. Keeping it to yourself is not a good idea in case somebody stumbles across it and has problems, unless you're going to like maintain a garrison there. Just telling them and letting them make their own minds up is also not a good idea. Like, the middle ground. Tell them it's there, put a garrison in. Make sure nobody does anything stupid. Yeah, next few weeks apparently, Gubby. Steve aptly points out. Right, got to Romani.
Good work securing an entrance, Initiate. Have you located the transmitter?
You mean, did I do all the hard work while you lagged behind? Sure did, no help from you, it was right in front of us. Took some work to gain access, transmitters past that door. I could go with affirmative paladin, but I don't think I'll do that.
Excellent initiative. You can depend on us from here on.
Are there any threats we need to know about?
There were, you just, didn't have an issue, yeah. There were, but I dealt with them before you turned up. There's an AI called Sodus, think it's been trying to kill me.
How exactly does a terminal program go about killing someone?
How do you know it was a terminal program?
Regardless of her methods, I have every confidence that the three of us can handle her. Moving forward, let's not waste any more time. Lead the way, Initiate.
Yeah, she's a tiny bit reckless. Like, yeah, I'd want an answer to that question too, especially if I was the one in charge of the mission and the safety of everybody on it. Small laser syndrome. Yeah, that's about right, Greg.
Jupiter has accessed mainframe. The others tried to shut me off too. Their task failed, as will yours.
I suppose that's the AI?
I'd like to see this voice try to stop us.
Task 000.
Don't waste my time.
Unknown user. Priority 1. Transfer service. Operating system. Unit XP-55. Task complete. Please
Gotcha.
The initiate was talking about.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that even terminal programs turn to violence.
That was a challenge to try and maintain the aim there, compensate for the recoil. I didn't quite mean to pick that up. But... XB-55. I'm afraid you had a decent shufty around. So there is much to find. But... no broken consoles, and that's about it.
This appears to be a manual console for the transmitter. I need a moment to figure out the controls. The two of you are to find the power supply and install the ultrasight battery cell that Scribe Valdez sent us with.
Okay.
Take your time. I'll need to wrestle with this device for a while. I don't know how Scribe Valdez does it.
This way, Initiate.
Skill
I believe
and
the
natural
power supply should
aptitude.
be in this area.
Either he's got some interesting experience and has figured it out because he kind of recognises the format of the place, which is possible, or it's convenient. It's programmed by Bethesda, we know how buggy that can get. Yeah, that's probably true. Repeatable legendary. Stabilised. Yeah, I have the perk for it, but even so, when you're holding down the fire button for that long, it starts to kind of climb all over the place eventually, kick all over the place. Anti-armor only work on enemies with armor? That's a good question, actually, Hyper. I don't know. I've never actually used the perk that tells you what the armor is for them, but for enemies in this game, so I wouldn't know. Anti-armor's just ignored. Fair enough. Think Xion likes machines a bit too much. Likes his old world technology a bit too much. Taking the Brotherhood thing a little too far there. I am one with machine. How do I make this weapon, this piece of technology work? I get inside it. Might work for your power armor, Belen, but don't work with a computer console.
Let's get this done quickly. Leaving Romani to fiddle with the transmitter as she pleases doesn't sit well with me.
Behaves far too recklessly for a leader. She does a little bit, but... what do you mean by that? You should be ashamed as a superior officer you're talking about. Well, we have had some raider times, so... yeah. Far too recklessly. So the raider background, so we'll go with what do you mean?
Paladin Romani's actions are unbecoming of her station. She carelessly shares resources, takes unnecessary risks, and doles out her trust to anyone who takes an interest in joining us, regardless of merit. The Brotherhood she's building is not the one I believe in.
You mean you're a xenophobic piece of shit? Ooh. That Brotherhood. See where you're coming from. I think you're overreacting. You're overreacting.
Paladin Romani is responsible for the lives of dozens of initiates and countless civilians. One wrong choice for them, and that's it. I won't argue about this, but I will order you to get back to the transmitter while I finish up here. Think about what I said, Initiate, and think about what the Brotherhood stands for.
Yeah, I know what... well, you don't, apparently. Ironically. I would just chop it into paper clips. Whereas he seems to want to get intimate with it. He's just asked me... I've just walked in on him, trying to get inside the machine, and now he's asked me to leave him alone with it. She's not a guy of sound judgment. I fall for mentioning bugs. Bugs go, that doesn't particularly trouble me, I have to admit.
Did Xion get held up? Well, perhaps it's for the best. This gives me the opportunity to ask you something. You've been a tremendous asset to the Brotherhood's efforts, and I'd like you to continue to be one. But we can't do that with the shadows of the Elders looming over our shoulders. They're cowards. Too obsessed with preventing disaster to pave a new way forward. Under their guidance, we will never rebuild the world. We'll stay rooted in place, guarding a hoard of technology that can be used for neither good nor evil. Here in Appalachia, we have an opportunity to make a real difference, to help the people of today build their own future. So let's cut free and take that opportunity. Tell me, Initiate, are you with me?
She is absolutely right. But same time, we've sided with her last time, so I kind of feel like I have to go the other way. Same time, that really doesn't sit well with me at all. Dim as he goes. Hey, Terence, you alright? For fusion cores, you can farm them at any of the power stations. Just take over the workshop, power up the fusion core generator in there, which takes a lot of power, admittedly. But you can prepare the power station and that'll provide enough. And get it generating, supposed to be like 3 an hour or something like that. Well, that's the easiest way to get fusion cores. Plasma cores for the plasma caster I craft because they're considerably easier than fusion cores. And also the only way is to keep it off in stock. So. I feel like I need to go the other way just so I can see the other side of it, but it really does not sit well with me. What are you saying exactly? Get on with it, can't betray the Brotherhood. What are you saying exactly?
I'm saying that this message must not be sent. I believe in the Brotherhood of Steel. So much that I would rewrite its customs to lead it on the right path. Re-establishing contact with the Elders will only shackle us, possibly even destroy us. So we must disable this transmitter. Permanently.
Nah,
This is a choice
the elders
that
are the
can never
traitors.
be undone.
The exception of probably
So
Roger
tell me.
Maxon.
Do you support the growth and outreach of the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel under the command of Paladin Layla Romani? Or are you beholden to the fearful and outdated mandates of the Elders, to whom our very own Knight Daniel Shin vows his loyalty?
Anyway, as I said last time, if the boss is wrong, you tell them no. And if they say do it anyway, you give them the finger. They don't generally like you very much, but it's the right thing to do. She's right. He's wrong. And therefore the elders are also wrong, so sticking it to the man. Contacting the elders might destroy us. That's something you're not telling me. Shouldn't understand something you don't. That is technically true, but not what the statement is going to refer to. I'm not loyal to either of you now. That's also tempting. What are you not telling me?
Something happened during our journey to Appalachia. It's a mistake.
Yeah, that's true as well, Hyper.
That cost the lives of an entire town. And likely countless more. If Knight Shin gets an opportunity to speak with the Elders, he will confess to this incident and to us breaking their direct orders. We'll have our titles stripped, our influence rendered illegitimate. Everything we worked for here will be gone. But if circumstances prevent us from establishing contact, we will continue on as a sanctioned offshoot of the Brotherhood of Steel. We will be able to spread its authority and goodwill across the nation. Is that not something worth fighting for?
And the problem is it's in no way solves the problem in the core of the Brotherhood. The kind of, we'll pretend we're still with them even though we're not. So she's not exactly... Like, her solution is far from perfect, but moral standpoint is absolutely spot on.
You must recall the Brotherhood weaponry we tasked you with retrieving these last few missions. We had claimed the entire cache from a military facility in the Midwest. It was meant to stay under Brotherhood protection, until we came across a town under threat of a massacre by some raiders. We equipped the townspeople with the weapons and fought by their sides. It was the only way to give them a chance. But it wasn't enough. The raiders won.
What's the T-51 on our chest
They
plate?
took possession of the
Never noticed that
weapons,
before.
and they've been running wild ever since. It is my belief that we must learn from our mistakes.
Also true.
But Knight Shin hangs on to them. He cannot move forward until he confronts the past, until he lays our guilt on display for the Elders. I say that we can, that we must, move forward on our own.
I don't think it'll make a great deal of difference right now. I think subsequent decisions on down the line might do. There are ways they could have your decisions shut things out. Would be a good way to do it. To hide the truth, just keep a title. No, she doesn't. Her entire backstory goes against that, Ash. Her entire life story says the opposite of that. Just a power grab. It's not like there's any power to grab. Not that she doesn't already have, so that doesn't make sense either. You're just trying to cover your own tail.
This is not about me, Initiate. This is about the people we can help. It's about the promise of a better future, one we can only deliver with our own, untethered hands.
At least for one corner of the world, which I suppose is a thing worth achieving. How could you let this incident happen?
Yes, I am responsible for the final outcome of all operations performed by this group, regardless of individual choices made.
That's
What
interesting.
happened is an irreparable tragedy.
That's like somebody else
I carry
fucked
the
up.
weight of the lives that were lost with every step I take.
And she's taking responsibility for it.
I cannot allow it to stop me.
She's a little bit fanatical in her own way, I suppose. What if Shin is right?
There's a thin line between order and blind obedience.
Exactly.
At one time, I may have trusted Xion to stay on the right side. He's always been strict, dedicated, disciplined. But following these events, he became guarded. He doesn't let up for even a second. If he continues on this way, I worry he will lose sight of why he joined the Brotherhood in the first place.
Okay, so that was to help people. Other people.
You weren't there, Initiate. It was harrowing. Those civilians trusted us to save them.
You wouldn't have the power if she reported to superiors. What are superiors going to do? Spank her with a really long stick?
Knight Connors. May he rest in peace. We disobeyed orders, handing out those weapons instead of safeguarding them. Perhaps it would have been forgivable had we succeeded. But the Elders would take this failure as proof of the danger of unrestrained technology. They would double down on the fearful conservatism I've tried so hard to steer them away from. We cannot let that happen. At this stage, the Brotherhood still has a chance to be something better.
Fortunately, the main part won't live up to it.
Consider what's right. Not just for the Brotherhood, but for the people we must protect.
Did say it would be stripped, yeah. Coming up with ideologies a newcomer would agree with. Except that if you talk to her before this point, she'll still tell you what her whole background and life story is. And that joining up with the Brotherhood to protect other people was always her goal from the beginning. Brotherhood itself has turned its back on that goal, which was the Brotherhood's goal when it first founded, or Maxon's goal for the Brotherhood when it first founded it. He actually says, if you listen to the holotapes at Camp Venture, that setting it up to inspire people was part of his ideal, not lock themselves in a bunker underground. So, she's still right. How you doing, Richard? You alright? Didn't just continue the original mission. Yeah, but how? It's not like they're there to enforce it. She just goes, no. Basically does what she does anyway. They still can't enforce it, so. Or if they do it, and she goes, okay, conversation ends, bang, shoot Xion, problem solved. Anyone got the atrium yet? Yeah, I'm not picking it up, Gobby, either. It's just too big for me. The price is reasonable for the size of the place, but it's just too unmanageably huge and pre-designed with it being a vault. The atrium doesn't have a big enough budget. Haven't tried it to. Oh yeah, that's true. So there is that as well. I'm not loyal to either of you. It's kind of the way I want to go, but I think I'll go with Xion this time. I don't really want to because he's a dick and he's seriously lacking in moral fiber and a spine, but
I'm sad to hear you say that. But if that is your stance, then so be it. I cannot allow the misguided beliefs of one initiate to determine the future of Appalachia. This is the only way forward.
Nice. This doesn't look much like a transmitter to me, though.
To a new Brotherhood.
What have you done, Paladin?
The Elders have no hold on us anymore. Stand with me, Xion. Play a part in forging a better future.
I have every intention of forging a better future. But this is not the way. You've broken your oath, Paladin. No. That title
definitely doesn't have the right to say that. Like,
with your link removed
even if he were right, he still would not have the right to make that call.
Ranking officer present. All members of the Appalachian Brotherhood of Steel now answer to me.
So that just makes it a coup and
And
a
you expect
mutiny,
them to follow
basically.
you? Authority is given to a leader by those who support them. The same initiates who turn away from you in fear.
And
Like
I've
that.
done wrong by them. I never thought I would be in a position to ask for their loyalty. The Brotherhood must stand united. You've severed everything we rely on.
I have not
Choice of
turned
words.
my back on the Brotherhood, Xion. On the contrary, I will work harder than ever before to lead us forward.
It's an emergency alert from Fort Atlas.
An alert. There could very well be an attack. We need to get back to the initiates.
I don't take orders from you anymore. Neither do the initiates.
Actually,
We
they
cannot
do.
have them confused
You're
on who to
technically the
follow.
mutineer right now.
Don't you see that protecting them is more important right now? You and I will both return to the fort and deal with the alert. We can settle our dispute later.
As you
Personally,
say,
what I think they
As
should do
far
is
as
go out
I'm
and do the whole
concerned,
pistols at dawn
this
thing.
is already settled. This way, Initiate.
Despite the circumstances,
Chances are
the
she'll
Brotherhood
win.
needs us.
But yeah, pistols at dawn, that's the solution to the problem. Impact, Redaway, water, grenade, an oathbreaker. I wondered if there was another option for like another reward option for going the other way, but no. Suppressors though, it's not really very good. No. Still cucumber. But was there a workbench down? See one, but not in here. Have a rummage and see if there's anything in that ditch that I don't need or want. How much do I need to drop? A lot. Farmhands up. I don't need the hazmat suit, really, do I? No. Boom, 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 boom. Good. Get rid of a bunch of partially used plasma cores. That's very annoying. It's still reloading when it's not quite finished. Really need that many else. A lot of difference. 5 full ones. Go. Right, how much more do I need to drop now? I don't really need to drop anything because just not got quite over the carry weight required. Drink some booze. Yep, nice. Now fast travel back to Atlas. Winner! Nothing to hide, you would speak with the elders. Not necessarily. May just not respect their opinion. Why would she? Opinion is trash. There. The one who comes in and decides the final outcome. Yeah. How do you get people to follow orders? No, you won't. They'll have to set up a new government and be treated as a new nation with the leadership of their own colony. It'll be utterly impossible to do anything else. It'll essentially be a new country. Only it'll be a new planet. It'll actually be good for humanity. Fresh start. Could also be a disaster, but... Well, that's not really far, is it?
You should get that mutation treated as an example to the other troops.
Oh, do shut up. Crafting. While I'm here,
Everything makes
drop a
sense.
few pounds.
This is my place. My initiative.
Nice. Really realised that it was exactly the right multiple there. That was a few pounds dropped.
Cavalry arrived, and not a moment too soon.
We're holding them for now.
Rogue leader's more interested in the rogue
Until they break through.
subordinate. Yeah, definitely. Why don't I like the choice morally? Because doing as you're told by somebody who is flat wrong is not moral. It's blind obedience to an idiot. That's how we end up with Nazism. Bit of short. Telling the boss to stick it when they're wrong is exactly the right thing to do to avoid what happened during the Second World War, for example. Very, very extreme example, but...
Nightshun's here to show those mutants who's boss.
Considering how the people were dumb enough to blow themselves up with their launchers and hold remote, yeah, they're not exactly complicated. They're a tube with a trigger. It's
How many have we lost so far?
yeah. Tried to do the right thing. It didn't work out well. You lost the battle. Because the battle is not necessarily a
Nightshun's
bad
here to
thing.
show those mutants who's boss.
You can report a superior off it. Yeah, you can report one, but the decision to remove their position or take action has to come from somebody superior to the person being reported. You can't actually strip your own superior officer of their position. You're allowed to ignore orders if they
An attack on Fort Atlas?
contravene official guidelines of the mutiny.
So
Or
soon?
they're
We're
illegal, rather.
holding them for now.
Yeah, that's true.
But how much longer? until
Whether or
they
not the
break
Brotherhood actually has a statute that provides for that, though, is a different matter. Not like there are any laws in place in the world anymore. Well, in this world anymore. Stash box in the utility, would that stop the glitch bug? Probably not, no.
The cavalry's
But you
arrived,
never know.
and not a moment too soon.
Easy enough to test it. Considering she's 7 hours, it would make her the mutineer. It would make them both mutineers, really, but in their own way. Two wrongs not making a right and all that. But, yeah. Then again, the other side, as Steve aptly points out, it's not mutiny if they're breaking the rules in the first place. That applies to both of them as well. But then again, that actually kind of is my point. You can report a superior officer if what they're doing is wrong. You don't have to follow their orders. Kind of the point I was making.
We're holding them for now. But how much longer until they break through?
Yeah, it would have been nicer if their opinions, if I thought their opinions mattered.
Victoriam.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's at least as poor a leader as she is.
New recruits, Nightshin's training, weapons, and a base like this? We're gonna be invincible.
Wasn't as bad before. And yeah, it did make matters worse. But it's not created a situation, it's exacerbates it. Yeah, that's true as well, Katie. Does his closed offness and over caution does lead to him using potential allies, which is not usually the smartest move ever, especially not when you're, you know, stretched out as far from the main power base as these guys are. They need all the support and help they can get, including the local allies. Must get round to putting that on a t-shirt, actually, okay? Whole Sith code.
Those mutants put up a hell of a fight. How many have we lost so far?
The people of the Wasteland actually need help. It's a fair question, actually, Ash. Mind you, say that, we don't know what other threats might come in from the outside. For all you know, you get a massive wave of army of super mutants coming down, and the Brotherhood's acquisition of technology over time, which they will do either way, would potentially provide them the basis for a strong fighting force to defend other people with, even if not now, in the future. Now that should justify the later tribunal, and convince the other officers with them that they're right at the time, because otherwise they might find out that they're up shit creek if they don't have support. Whether or not that's in the rules so much as just being fact of life is a different matter, eh? Happens in Band of Brothers. Curious to see what happens if it ever did happen. It'd be a messy situation. But it's absolutely the right thing to be able to do, as my previous example points out. Anyway, the right thing to do is kick the super mutants out of the basement, so let's do that.
Thank goodness you're here. I don't know how much longer we could hold out without you. Atlas is under attack. These big mutant people blew a hole right through the wall of the substructure and came pouring through.
That's some way more advanced strategy than the mutants usually use.
Of all times. Yeah. Unbelievable.
Scribe, status report. How many hostiles? Where are they now?
Dozens of mutants. I couldn't get a good count. We fought them back into the substructure and set up a makeshift barricade. We're holding them below for now, but it's only a matter of time before they break through.
Well, they did well, considering it was a surprise attack to hold them off and then fight them back out of the basement. That's pretty good going. Also, question.
Please, before it's too late.
I think I've just selected something I didn't mean to.
That barricade. Shin,
We have to help now, I'm
I
fine
trust
with that.
you can put your feelings aside and work with me on this?
Of course. The safety of our brethren comes first.
Good. Then let's go.
Hurry!
Why is she not in power armor and why is he still in? It would make more sense for them both to still be in power armor. Especially if she's going to pop back into it. Huh? Got a big gun out. Yeah, Modus is definitely one of the biggest threats in the whole of Appalachia. Finding a way to destroy him would seem like a priority for anybody. Mind you, it'd be interesting to see whether or not that becomes a thing further on down the line. Would make sense for the Brotherhood to have a vested interest in doing that. Would be a logical part of their extended quest line. Look, she's back in power armor now.
Good.
Not much of
Our
a barricade
initiate's
though, is
held.
it?
And the barricade's still standing.
It looks like things have calmed down. Is this the last of the attackers?
Unlikely. Hostiles have been hitting in waves for hours now. Our scouts, the ones who've
I don't
returned,
think I've ever used them either, Gray, actually.
reported the tunnels crawling with mutants.
Then we need a plan of attack. This threat won't take care of itself. We'll go on the offensive, take the fight to them.
We can barely hold a position of strength. Engaging superior numbers head-on would be suicide.
It's an interesting point, actually.
How many have we lost so far?
I mean, we know we'll win either way, but we head out there and fight them head on. we're taking a risk, getting swarmed, getting crushed, that sort of thing. We don't know how many of them are. It's very unwise. On the other hand, Brotherhood is probably not in any kind of position to withstand a protracted siege either, so neither of them really seem like a good option. We like to daily mission slaying mutants and protecting Atlas. I think that would get a little repetitive. There's no variation to it, but I'm sure the Brotherhood will have more daily stuff to come later with some of the updates, expeditions if nothing else, when they eventually drop. We need to fight, we can't stand around waiting to die. That's why they'll never see it coming. Can't hope to kill them all on our own. Suicide mission, no thanks, don't plan on dying for you today. Well, I'm going to go with a different option to the one I went last time, but I don't think what my personal preference would be. Neither of them is a good option. No reinforcements are coming, so they can't expect anybody to help them break the siege, and they haven't got much in the way of supplies. Got some from Foundation, but Foundation won't fight their way through a horde of supermutants. Siege is what. On the other hand, supermutants are only attacking through the substructure. So the thing to do would be to find a way to hold them off, or collapse the tunnels, which is what they should get with, and then push forward a bit and then collapse the tunnel a bit further back. Not all the way down the tunnel, which is what they do. Find out where they're getting in and strike back there, maybe. But going straight down the corridor into a nest of God knows how many is a stupid idea. But so standing still and wait for help that's never going to come. But we're going to stay back and support Knight Xion because it's kind of the only option.
Thank you, Initiate.
Well, because it's the option we didn't do. Actually, no, it is the one we did last time.
I should have expected such short-sightedness from you, Initiate. Xion's indoctrinated you already.
What's gotten into all of you? This is no time for bickering. Look.
Oh, she's going to give us the same option anyway, isn't she? Mind you, I think I did go with that one.
Explosive charges. I was waiting to plant them as our last line of defense, but maybe we can put them to better use. If we go into the tunnels and find their points of entry, we can destroy them and prevent any more mutants from attacking.
A surgical strike. I suppose that could work.
It will work. We've got to take a chance
on
on
this.
this.
I hate to admit it, I don't see a better option right
Yeah, on reflection, I think I'd push forward
but the Initiate will plant the bombs, and I will
a bit down the corridor
so
and then blow it just outside beyond the
barricade, in case we don't make it.
Very well, Xion. If that's the price of your cooperation, then I'll pay it. If only to hold our Brotherhood together a little longer.
A little longer? What? Oh, never mind. I can wait. Here are the bombs. I'll stay here and do what I can for the wounded. Good luck. I believe in you. All of you.
From a certain perspective, actually, the situation kind of forced Romani's hand. A sensible thing in her position to do would be... Xion's been essentially insubordinate for some time anyway. Having him arrested and removing him from his position before he can cause a problem, but Valdez's report kind of put her in a position that forced her hand, which is interesting. Yeah, I think I'd just push a little way down the corridor. Personally, and blow it just outside the limits of Atlas. You know, like Atlas has got this sort of car park area out front. Get a bit beyond that and blow it there. And then try and figure out where they came from. Stop them getting in as a matter of priority. But also not overextend and risk yourselves.
I knew it would happen.
Possibly a new daily up. Possible. I'd hope they'd have something a bit more interesting than that, but assuming they'll come up with something that has a bit more story than that. Random level. Damn, I ran out of action points when I jumped there. Mind you, if they're getting in through there as well, then the obvious place to do it would be back up here. And that's probably too close to Atlas, so That is a problem. Quite predator. Still haven't really addressed the Scorched Bay. Well, theoretically, the story's supposed to end when you drop your first nuke on Scorched Bay's queen and kill her, but for the sake of repeatable content and, you know, players coming along behind you having something to play, it kind of doesn't. So. Bit of a challenge there.
Holding the barricade back there.
Mind you, that should have closed the tunnel quite effectively.
Combat. They were peaceful people before we came here.
Like that Putnam boy our friend here recruited.
Good for defending workshops. I hadn't thought of that. That's using the.
Saw an opportunity to exchange. We got a new trainee. Marty Putnam is eager and fearless. An ideal combination for a future knight. We're lucky to have him.
Yeah, I wouldn't agree with you there, to be honest. Paladin, I think Marty Putnam is kind of a liability looking for a place to crop up, but anyway. He sure as hell isn't fearless. Where do you come from? Okay.
Fire! It's over.
This thing does remind me of Metal Flowers from Horizon there. What are you shooting with, Arnie?
Need to find cover.
Minigun and a Gatling laser. She has come kitted, to be fair.
Isn't this what you always wanted, Shin? Ridding the wasteland.
Felt this as the third option. I will agree to side with her. Yeah, I can get behind that.
Well, you're certainly no negotiator.
I have a hacker perk anyway. No, I don't. Pick a perk, 41. Okay, let's pick a perk then. Need to upgrade this character apparently. I want to see what's behind this door actually. It's a new door, so. A surprising lack of the. They're all on this side. Okay. Did we get reset? Tries reset we did and dodge removed. So crowded. It's not that one. Just that one. a lot of effort for one small storeroom with not very much in it. A fire axe. Feel a little bit like I was robbed now. That was disappointing. Oh, it's a piece of cloud rope. That one. Like how high intelligence gives you less wrong options as guesses. Never even noticed that was a thing. Though it does stand to reason as a way of dealing with it, so. Legacy camp on that one, Labra. Imagine that's fairly epic. Do they all fire at the same grenade target, then? Question. Or do you have to throw 5 different grenades? I suppose they'll fire at the same one. Makes sense. Let's get cracking, don't we? I'll have to catch up in a second, otherwise I'm going to get murdered. Hit me with a plank! I recommend not standing still then, Romani. Oh, it's Xion Romani I'm shooting at. Standing there in power armor, it looks so big I thought they were super mutants. That's quite cool, the effort it takes them to drop out the tunnel. It's a good little detail. Decent little animation there as well. Contact, it's a dog, calm down. Big naked muscle dog, but you're in power armor. Cracking, huh? Hey, 007. We'll see what's down here, and if anything. Ah, the other way around. Thought it might be.
Well done. The tunnel is good work, team. Let's get back to the surface and regroup.
Nice. I'll quick run around see if there's any caps or anything knocking around and grab. Not that I really need them. Don't think I even need the gunpowder on reflection, so maybe I won't bother. Oh yeah, how we doing? Bombing the White Spring Labourer. I don't imagine that is entertaining. Probably kind of oddly satisfying as well on occasion. Yeah, that is a question I've been wondering about since the beginning of the game. All these players slaughtering super mutants left, right and centre, but we never seem to have any decrease in their numbers. Do need an answer as to where they're coming from. Like in Fallout 3, they're kidnapping humans, dragging them back to whatever vault number it was, I can't remember. The vault they came out of anyway, and from there they are... Oh, okay. Yeah, and then from there they're turning them into super mutants. So maybe something like that's going on, but it doesn't make sense before Wastelanders. There's no explanation that covers the whole period. Certainly be good to...
Show those mutants who's boss.
I shouldn't do jack, mate. I did it. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that story goes. I'm looking forward to that. Gatling plasma are using it in. It's an anti-armor, faster fire rates, something. Extra damage while aiming, I think, or something like that. Got it again. I'm going to check now. Oh, movement speed while aiming. There we go. There, pretty solid. Not knowing what was on the 3-star legendary. Oh crap, yeah, I forgot about him. Oh well. Chances are nothing worth having. I'm not going all the way back down there for now though. Take a week. But it's not really worth it. My power armor looks much better than theirs. Grubby around the legs though. That is really nice skin. They did knock it out of the park with that. I like that a lot. Silver in particular is what really gets me. I'd like to see like maybe the blue replaced with black. Possibly the red replaced with silver as well. I like that you can actually see the colour of the headlamp I've got on there. Cool. Yeah. I might remove the red out of it. I know, I realise it's supposed to be a red, white and blue thing. Just for my personal taste. Make it black and silver, but otherwise exactly the same would look like a beast. Slick beast as well.
The mission was a success, and Fort Atlas is safe. Our decisive action drove the enemy from our home, as it has in the past, and will in the future. Maybe now you see the merit of my command, Initiate. Act together without hesitation, and we can win any battle.
We survived the attack, but now you need to answer for what you did at the transmitter. It was inexcusable.
Okay, what happened? You've been at each other's throats since you returned.
What are you looking at me for?
I should have known something was wrong.
I doomed our brotherhood to isolation. She missed the transmitter. Carnage, sparks everywhere. I'm going to go with that one because I can't bring myself.
She did what now?
Isolation is kind of the problem though,
destroyed
so that's
the
an interesting
transmitter.
point.
The Elders are blind to the good we can do. We need to break free from their influence.
You only did this to escape responsibility for that incident. You can't bear to face the judgment of the Elders.
The Elders would have us stand trial for crimes we didn't commit. Your own sense of guilt is blinding you to that.
Also, there's a fair chance that
It's
he
clear
wouldn't
you
stand trial
can't
and
be
she would, so
reasonable. I
easy
don't
for him
know
to
why
say.
I bothered trying. These new mutants are a threat that demands our unity. For now. Enjoy your success
Pay
while
attention
you
to that
can,
bit.
Romani. It won't last forever.
Do what you will, Shin. Cool your head and come back when you're ready to cooperate.
Talks to him like he's a kid, which kind of behaving
I don't know
like...
what to say. Paladin Romani has always butted heads with the Elders, but cutting ourselves off entirely? And I've never seen Night Shin behave that
Always
way toward
butted
a
heads.
superior
It's not a
officer.
sudden act
His
of...
rage has taken complete control of his senses.
Yeah, clearly if she's always butted heads with the Elders, her decision to cut herself off is not a sudden act. It's a case of trying to stay true to the ideals and now having even more reason. Yeah, the thing with the super mutants though, that's one of the things that makes me think that, yeah, the whole super mutant thing is going to be the next chunk of story, and then there'll be a separate one afterwards that will settle a dispute between Romani and Shin. That would be my guess. Elders founded the Brotherhood who can't be shackled to the past. Mine's right after all. They're both nuts, I'm speechless too, doing
They
it.
each have beliefs so strong they die for them. Those passions drive them forward, but leave no room for compromise. It's clear this rift won't heal easily. There's too much animosity between those two now. I still believe that they can come together in the end, though. I plan to do everything I can to make that happen. We've been through a lot. I need some time to think. Ad Victoriam, Initiate. Until next time.
Who's usually in charge of the scribes? I assume there's like, there we go, an elder scribe, or a group of elder scribes, who are the head of the scribe order, same as our paladins, head of the knights and the paladins, and then the elders overall. So both sides are probably represented in the upper leadership of the Brotherhood in California. Makes me wonder if somebody could come up through the scribe path, hypothetically, and become leader of a Brotherhood chapter. Because she's clearly by far the most qualified Valdez. By a country mile. Yeah, if you talk to them, we might as well do while we're here. You get a bit of a sense of their background and
I trust
stuff.
you're adjusting to service with the Brotherhood.
And
Need to have
the current
Valdez
situation
take
that gives you a little hint at what
do you
might be
need,
coming
Initiate?
next. Tell me more about Brotherhood role. Let's get to know you better.
Social conversations with a superior officer are not appropriate, soldier. I won't tell if you won't.
Yeah, it's at least partially madness. What made you want to join the Brotherhood? There's the
My
point.
mission in life is to help others and restore the world to what it once was. The Brotherhood of Steel is aligned with those goals. In addition to the preservation of technology, the resources that the Brotherhood can provide will assist me in accomplishing my mission. I will be at the forefront of rebuilding society.
Where are you from?
I'm originally from the California branch of the Brotherhood of Steel. I was posted near Mariposa before the bombs fell, and I learned that some members of the U.S. military had created an organization to help people. As a member of the U.S. military, joining up with the Brotherhood was a natural transition for me.
Disorder is to be expected in a place that lacked Brotherhood oversight.
I was in the National Guard. Helping those who are less fortunate has always been a passion of mine. Being able to help protect my community was an experience I'll never forget. But now, my mission is to protect you and the other people of Appalachia. Sure.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
They're very enthusiastic to talk about anything else apart from whatever it is you're talking about at the moment, irrespective of what that is, which is amusing.
If you have any additional questions about your duties, Knight Xion is in charge of new recruits.
Particular option wants what are we doing in
It
Appalachia?
is important that we establish our own chapter here, outside the influences of the elders back in
Beyond that,
California. I am confident that I can build up the Brotherhood here.
I don't think she actually says
help
much about the
people of
super mutant
Appalachia
threat, to be
rebuild.
honest.
Regardless of your personal feelings on that mission, you would do well to remember that
Odds
I'm
of
the
an issue,
commanding
Inspector
officer
Brinker.
here.
We can't afford to find any more weak points.
Greetings, so...
Current state of the Brotherhood.
Appalachian Brotherhood is now free to focus its full efforts on helping the people of this region rebuild. In time, I believe you and Xion will come around to the importance of saving each and every life we can.
I should be able to get this list done.
You can send out super mutants.
Primary concern is for the safety and well-being
that's not a
of the
great
people
answer.
of Appalachia.
It also doesn't
Anywhere
make
that human
sense.
life is threatened, the Brotherhood will be there. We cannot let a single threat blind us to all the others.
That's my problem with that. The answer's not really an answer to the question you're asking, or unless Bethesda thinks we're asking a different question. That's a bit odd.
Call a seminar on this.
But yeah,
I'm here and willing to address any of your concerns.
the fact that talk to the other two as well, they both have similar things to say about the super mutant threat, which is cool.
Anything you need to know?
Can't say the Brotherhood.
Sure. I'll discuss what I can.
What do you think of the super mutants?
They're unsettling. They can use human weapons, mount an organized offensive, and they targeted us for an attack. I get the feeling we haven't seen
Evening
the
all,
last
how are
of
you
them.
doing? And feel about my decision to destroy the transmitter? Right, yeah. I'm not going to go down that whole road right now. I think we've covered it more than enough times now, haven't we?
I'll be here
Going.
if you need anything.
You can also talk to certainly Valdez and Xion about whether or not you're going to get a promotion, and that's an interesting thing to talk about. Depending on the choices you make, you get different reactions. But like Valdez would promote you on the spot, but as a scribe, obviously. But
If you see
Xion, not
any
so much.
movement from the super mutants, report it immediately.
We're always moving. We're all over the bloody place. Can't say the
That's
Brotherhood.
not something we can afford to focus on right now. Romani and I are both putting our full efforts into understanding the extent of the super mutant threat. Once that's dealt with, we'll have her betrayal to contend with. It may be some time before that happens. But when it
I wish I'd
does,
recorded that now
I'll be
for the
counting
video.
on your support.
Well, alright, let's chase down why the super
One,
mutants concerned.
they're an unknown. I understand these creatures have been sighted around Appalachia for some time now. But this is the Brotherhood's first time dealing with them. We need more information before we can count this threat as controlled. Two, they targeted us directly. The blow they dealt to this base is unacceptable. We must determine their motives, if any, and take appropriate steps to ensure this never happens again. Three, they're an abomination. We've seen all kinds of mutants, but these are uncannily human. It's an affront to nature to simply let them be.
You should know what super mutants are. I think. Brotherhood as a whole certainly should.
Yes. No more
So
distraction.
Romani should definitely know, because super mutants are involved in the very founding of the
Ad
Brotherhood.
Victoriam.
Like, the fact that people were being turned into super mutants is exactly why the Brotherhood exists at all. So, that's a bit of an inconsistency. But, yeah.
That.
See what I mean about, I think that it's going to be like 2 more updates, 2 more story arcs. Let me catch up with you guys now. Pics are any good.
I can do more than just fight. But how do I show that I'm fit to be a
Yeah, you
scribe?
can only get to drop as a
Control.
legendary weapon if you already know the plan. I think Lorenzo as well,
They make
the
us-
fixer. Stealth Commandos, it's very popular for. The former hardcore meta.
New recruits, Night Shin's training, weapons, and a base like this?
Those mutants
gonna
were
be
terrifying.
invincible.
Yeah, it's glad you're doing well now. Yeah, I'm good. This little chat. Definitely. Infamous. It's a lot further away from my camp than I usually am. I can also normally get through there, so I don't know why I can't. Somebody came over here and actually bought some stuff from my vendor earlier, didn't they? So they obviously found their way inside. Be like this camp. Yay! Be like the kitty. Like the sheepscotch plushie as well. It's so dopey and happy. one and keeps the naughty step warm until Noel arrives. I'm sure it's big enough for both of you, Steve. Speak to Dodging Game to go to Fort Atlas. Yes, you can actually.
We gotta protect what we have.
I actually did that on my other character last time, but I haven't done it on this one yet. Do that. See if we can actually get him to talk when he gets there. Sounds probably as good a place as we're going to get. It's always appreciated, Ian. It is helpful. Because people are interested and engaged, YouTube tends to respond to that, or the algorithm does, yeah. A bit like praying to R and Jesus, except it's the YouTube equivalent. It's like one thing, like differences of opinion, the strength of reactions the characters get, even dodge in a sense, is the solid snake look notwithstanding, is really good character design and really good story work from Bethesda. Practicing throwing knives at the wall. Could be wrong, but that wall looks like it's made out of sheet metal. Those are either extremely sharp or he's throwing them extremely hard, or both. Going straight through. Remember, it's still trash. How are you doing, Andrew? You right?
Need to fix the ventilators. What'd you need?
From the look of him, probably an oncologist. Evening, Mr. Bed Zeppelin, you right? Kano, yeah. Kano's certainly a senior one. Senior scribe, isn't it? I think that's the title. Small steps everyone else's knee. Imagine that would make for an interesting picture, Belinda. How you doing, Tricky? 14th strength option called him a coward. Who, Dodge? I don't think he is, not based on the story he told us last time.
Atlas Observatory, huh? Interesting. Hadn't considered that. You must know something I don't. That doesn't change my plans, though. Supporting the Brotherhood with daily ops is still of the utmost importance.
During Atlas, they can use your knowledge.
A deserter like me doesn't deserve to just stroll up and pretend all is forgiven. I'll face my redemption in exile.
Afraid to run up to your mistakes. Okay, fine. Am I... But I pass more helps in person. I think I'm going to... How about... Now if I pursue this...
You need something else?
What should I know about you?
Fine. But only since you came through for me.
Real story behind you deserting.
Real story is that I was a naive fool. I left my post. Let the Brotherhood down. Came back to more fallen comrades than I can count.
Scars don't paint the picture of a coward. Die hard like you running away from the Brotherhood doesn't add up. You get lost one day. I like that one as well. Let's out-reason him, I think, on this one.
Well, I'm not some goddamn equation, all right, egghead? Not as simple as a scared old man running off. Well, I was already a geezer.
Like his response there.
Despite my years in the service, the Brotherhood ran me through the ringer with the rookies, the younger guys. Looked up to me, I guess. I had a soft spot for that youthful spirit. My superiors, though, like Senior Knight Wilson. They, look, the work the Brotherhood does, it's not easy, not safe. You need to harden these kids into solid steel to endure the dangers.
I'm glad you found it helpful, Ian. Essentially what we're saying there. Harden these kids into steel to endure the dangers of it. Sounds pretty rough.
It was rough. Nothing I couldn't shrug off, but the younger recruits were bending too far and sometimes snapping. One kid, damn it. Sorry. One kid got a lot more stick than carrot. Broke him.
That's poor
Went
leadership.
AWOL in the middle of the night. The old fool I am saw it as my duty to chase him down before anyone like Wilson took notice. And the time I caught the kid, we were a day out. Completely lost our bearing. We got waylaid by a group of passing raiders. Guess they saw us as fit enough for their fighting pits, but weak enough to get the drop on them.
So yes, technically it is deserting, but it's more. Oh, in his case, it's more like going AWOL because he always had the intention to return. He just didn't have permission to leave. So he's not so much a deserter as somebody who went AWOL and then got kidnapped while he was AWOL. That's kind of outside of his control, that second bit.
Barely. Spent the next decade or so slitting throats, caving in skulls, and doing anything I could not to be a corpse on the arena floor. Lost an eye.
Comatose. That's
Lost
the
a
goal,
kid,
Steve.
too. That was a long, hard life to live. That is, until my latest handler brought me to the Watoga Civic Center fight pits. The smell of being so close to home got my blood boiling. Strangled the poor bastard with one of those collars, then ran like hell. I took a bullet from a search party, but I've been free of them since. Now I've just been limping around looking for any Brotherhood tech I can fix. Trying to make things right with a bunch of ghosts. Well, I still can. Yeah, but that's enough of the past. Hope you heard what you wanted. Leave me be for a spell, would you?
Yeah, I joke about it. It would be good if everybody had the ability, the space and the full price range and yada 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 and all that stuff to have a PC. It's, you know, higher standard of hardware would just lift gaming faster and just be good for everybody in the grand scheme. Unfortunately, it doesn't match up with the realities of the universe, but it's we can dream, I suppose.
Watch
So,
where you're
send him
stepping.
off
This stuff
to-
is pretty ancient. And yeah, I meant the wire, not me, smartass.
Send him off to
Atlas Observatory. That doesn't change.
John
Deserter
Atlas.
like me.
You told me you're Syrian, you know deserter, and you've been vulnerable to
Think
Atlas.
so, huh? I guess fine. Oh, and
Thanks. It's not completely uncivilized either. Alright, let's head up there and see if we can actually get them to talk. I don't suppose we can this time, but... Well, maybe we can this time. I didn't manage to last time. I appreciate the sub in and the watching of the streams. There's one thing you particularly want to catch up on. They're all on playlists, so the option's there if you want to. And beyond that, I try and stream 5 days a week, so I don't really expect anybody to be here for all of them. That's asking a bit much of people, in my opinion. But I do appreciate it for those who are. Hey, look at that. It looks like a cool place I built recently.
Weapons at the ready.
I feel like I have to be ready with my weapon every time I've said that. Well, that's a cool thing for starters. He's wearing the special
Those
ops
kids we
reward.
picked up are doing okay. What were their names again? Started with an M.
Thanks again for convincing me.
Oh,
to
we
head
actually
over
talked
here.
this time.
Fort Atlas. It's really starting to shape up. I'm glad I'm able to pitch in.
That's cool. I couldn't get him to say that last time, so it was a bit iffy. See what this bellend's got to say
Your
about it.
diligence in the wake of turmoil is acknowledged.
Yeah, whatever. Met Dodger?
You mean that slovenly deserter you decided to send to our doorstep?
We already covered this.
Yes.
He's not deserter. He went AWOL and then got
If he
kidnapped.
sticks to playing around with those radios and stays out of the way, I won't object to him being here. And as long as he pitches in on bathroom duty, like everyone else.
You know what? Never mind punching Chin. Let's just make him clean a toilet with a toothbrush, like, every day. That will be much more fun and satisfying in the long haul.
Have you come with more supplies?
Challenge accepted, Belinda. I come with more supplies. Why would I have supplies?
Indeed. I have to thank you for sending him our way. I had always
Great
hoped
chill
to
before
survive
bed.
from
Well,
the
glad
original
you enjoyed it,
group
Steve.
about. It's quite the honor to meet him. He wasn't exactly high-ranking, but he's already offered valuable insight into how the West Virginia chapter survived here as long as they did. It wouldn't
No,
be
but
appropriate to
high
involve
ranking
him in
isn't
current
everything.
affairs, but supporting his daily operations will be of great use to us.
Don't quite trust him because she also
Stay
thinks
safe.
of him as a deserter. Kind. Possibly. An AWOL. But at the same time, he came back and has valuable knowledge and
suppose
intelligence. She's
you know
not
how to
stupid enough to
spot
keep him back out the door. I like that attitude, really.
What can I do for you?
Mostly.
Or did you come to lend a hand?
What have you got to say about Dodge?
Yes. He's quite the interesting guy. He really familiarized himself with the proprietary tech that the West Virginia chapter
Full scribe
developed.
response.
He's been an excellent source for archiving their research. I'm glad we could give him a safe place to stay after all that he's been through.
Catch you later, Ian. Cyberpunk tomorrow night, so I'm going to drop in for that one. Should be good fun. There you
About
go.
me. What do you want
Wasn't
to
the
know?
plan, actually. Yeah,
I'm glad you're with us, Initiate. And
I'm glad I got to hear what Dodge had to say. Has he got anything else to add?
These recruits really brings me back. That spark of hope in their eyes. Maybe we can do it right this time.
We're not off to the greatest start, but
Paladin Romani really knows how to take charge. They could have used more like her in the Appalachian chapter. She could have made a difference. Knight Xion was looking at me again, wasn't he? You tell him I already took a bath a few days ago. He needs to get off my back. There's more important things than cleanliness right now. Thanks again for convincing me to head over here. Fort Knight Xion was looking at me again. That kid needs to... Paladin Romani.
I've got anything to say about Valdez.
These recruits.
Doesn't seem to.
Paladin Romani. Knight Xion.
He followed me up in the air.
Wasn't he? You tell him that kid needs to...
Yeah, I guess he hasn't.
This is my place, my mission.
Why?
We'll make
That's
Atlas
back to my camp.
Fort
Yeah, I need a night off sometime, Steve. Definitely got the big boss vibe. Yeah, he does really, doesn't he? But is it deliberate? Is it accidental? Is it like Easter egg homage maybe? I don't know. That's a good that's the question. Mind you, my main building character or whatever, my other character, also looks sort of like him, but a bit more friendly and without the eye patch. And make him pay for the toothbrush he uses to clean the toilet. No. Make a better idea would be make him use his own toothbrush to clean it. Do you mean what life path am I going to play, Ash? I'm going to do Corpo for the first run through. Plans to do Corpo for the first run through because I think it's the one that the least people are going to do, at least streamers and YouTubers. I think you'll see more nomads and street kids. So, you know, giving an alternative, something different to look at, and it also kind of interests me, so I think that'd be cool. I will probably save Street Kid for run number 2 because that interests me as well. The least interesting one to me is actually Nomad, although we'll see when we actually get into it. But I am actually going to play Nomad through on my own time, probably. And definitely at least partially to get some B-roll and stuff because I'm going to need it. So that's one of the other things I've got to do pre tomorrow night's stream. Get some B-roll as well as make the video for tomorrow and other stuff. Lots to do. Those are just the Christmas decorations. Yeah. 1st of December they went up. Did a bit more than I did last year. Of course, like most of this room, it's all a cunning deceit. When everything outside of the field of view of the camera immediately makes the whole image fall down quite quickly. There's wires, there's furniture and stuff over behind the camera. There's a lot less soundproofing. And yeah, the back of the Christmas tree isn't decorated. It's also not there at all. I didn't put the back sort of third of the branches on. It's also missing a section of its height. Just because I needed it to fit against that back wall as much as I possibly could. There's not much room back there, so. But I'm happy with how it came out. It creates the appropriate illusion. Yeah. It kind of said it was something to do with Tesla Science magazine before joining up with Maxon. That's an interesting thought. That's cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I think Corpo is going to be an interesting one because, say, we know that the Corpo works for Arasaka at the start, before, as these things will, if you work for a megacorp and your boss is trying to cover their ass, it all goes sideways and they end up working as a mercenary. So, no spoilers, but. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing it. It's easy to see what the motivation will be, though. Or what a motivation will be. We'll have to actually see when we get into it. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing it. Beyond that, the other ones sound like they'll be interesting as well to kind of immerse yourself in the world. Excuse me. It's not a good time for me to be yawning. I've got like, what's it, 10:30, so probably another 5 hours to go on my day, at least. Smoke and mirrors is always the best way to go. Hey, if it works for Star Wars, The Mandalorian. Half of the sets in The Mandalorian aren't even there. They're just a screen. I don't mean a green screen, kind of not even there. I mean like they're literally a wraparound TV screen. Which is a pretty awesome thing, but it works. Like, everything on the shelf looks reasonably normal from the angle you guys are at. If you actually stand in front of it, you realise everything is actually kind of rotated slightly so that you can see it from the camera's angle. Actually, straight on, it doesn't look straight at all. And the top shelf is, well, storage. See, the camera's never going to get that. Not unless I put it portrait and had an ultra wide. Look terrible. Well, a portrait camera would necessarily look terrible, but since some people do it, don't know that I'd want to though. But I can see the appeal in the gameplay scene though. Take up less room if you built it, rotate it to portrait. An interesting thought. Of course, it'd up the resources that OBS has to use to rotate the image constantly on the go, so that too. Supplying your car air freshener with beard baubles and mini Christmas lights and tinsel. Buy tiny presents to make you look bigger. Get a macro lens on it, Steve, for pictures. I like that idea. Borrowers. We have got another Christmas tree downstairs, but it's in the living room. We hardly ever use the living room, so there we go. Find a way to put the Santa hat on the psycho behind me. Let's have a go at that. Could be a bad idea. What do we reckon? Hey Mason, how are we doing? The original Grinch, Steve. Catch you in a bit, Angela. Have a good one. Thank you for dropping in. I'm going to have to be very, very careful when I take that back off, though. When I eventually want to use it, which will probably be next week. Also, the top of the hat kind of floats in mid-air a bit. It's a bit weird. Quite sort of instant improvement. Yeah, when I chair's stuck. Yeah, when I want to take it off next week, I'll have to be very careful because the mask, the psycho mask in particular, is very flimsy, thin plastic, so it's just kind of blue tacked in place to keep it where it should be. Otherwise, it'd fall over. So I have to be rather careful with it. A little concerned it wouldn't take the weight of the hat. But we'll see what happens if it falls over. We'll revert to original position. Yeah, just remembered I changed the settings on my camera ages ago so it doesn't happen, but when I first got it, I set it up with face recognition, but I hadn't programmed it to recognise my face. So I'd turn around like that, it'd stop recognising me, and instantly recognise the power armour helmet as being a face, and it'd try and focus on that. It was problematic. And I'd then learned how to actually program my face into the computer's memory, camera's memory, so it looks for my face before any other. If it can't find mine, then it might go looking for another one, but it does solve the problem. Handy little thing, that. Move my chair off into a weird position now. Oh well. So, the plan tomorrow is either sometime tonight, probably sometime tonight, when middle of the night, I'll have a video on Cyberpunk's character creation up. So I'm going to work on after this stream. Well, after midnight when it actually comes out. So that's the plan for tomorrow morning. Then tomorrow afternoon we should have a news update on some quality of life changes we're getting for Fallout. So that should be very cool. From what Jeff Gardner said the other day anyway. So gotta jump in on that and cover the news there. And anything else they may be talking about. I would be surprised if they haven't got some other things to say. Well, actually no, I wouldn't be surprised. But hopefully they'll have some other stuff to talk about as well. So that's tomorrow early evening, and then as soon as I can possibly get that video done, it'll be jump straight into Cyberpunk for our first stream of it tomorrow night. Should be cool. It should be on the playlist by now, Steve. All right, last night's Horizon stream. It takes a little while to come through because basically I don't update it until at least the middle of the day after. Because it takes quite a while for it to process the high definition version of it, so I'm stuck with a really low res copy of it. So I don't really prioritise doing that until the higher resolution version's up. But it should be on the playlist now. I did it not long before we started streaming tonight. Did Monday stream as well while I was at it, so that'll be on the Steel Dawn playlist as well. And yeah, tonight's will go on there. Probably sometime tomorrow afternoon. So it usually takes them a good 12 hours or more. Yeah, 12 to 14 hours or so to process a 3-hour stream. Which is daft and frustrating, but... Or at least the HD version of it, so... This is what it is. So yeah, that's the plan for tomorrow. Friday will be a normal chill day. Going to stream Cyberpunk on Friday as well. I would have that listed already on the front of the YouTube channel, but I can't do it until after tomorrow's stream. Because to do it, I need to duplicate the stream that's happening tomorrow, which I can't do after it's happened. So, yeah. That one I'll do tomorrow night as well. But yeah, that's Friday night, and probably, hopefully Saturday. Hopefully, if all goes according to plan. If not, maybe Sunday I'll have a new build-up, which I'm well underway with at the moment. Got the structure put together. Need to do the decoration, which is going to be reasonably extensive, because it's quite a big building. Fairly big. But yeah, should be cool. Something I've had in the back of my mind for a while, so that should be cool. That's the one, Steve. Thunderstrom. Go bed, Steve. Yeah. Cruel world like that, Steve. Next week, we have Fallout for Hope as well, the charity event that the guys behind Chowder Fallout 76 podcast are organising. So they're raising money for St. Jude's, along with about 200 of us, over 200 other Fallout creators and streamers. So during the course of that week, we'll be doing, we'll have links up and stuff like that to the Tiltify page for St. Jude's, the donation for it. So if you want to support that, you can. Obviously, we'll have overlays and we'll be talking about it a bit. There's 200 plus people playing various Fallout games throughout the course of the week, so there'll be extra overlays and stuff on stream and reminders and stuff going off during that next week, which should be cool. So we'll stick with the usual 3 Fallout streams that week. And so Tuesday and Thursday will be Cyberpunk days, seeing as we have now finished Horizon Zero Dawn, which was very, very cool. Thoroughly enjoyed playing that. And the week after that is the run up to Christmas. So what we're going to do there, I don't know. I'll probably try and have a build. Well, it's Friday of next week, isn't it? Christmas Day. So probably try and have a Christmas themed build done in time for Christmas Day, or before Christmas Day. I'm not going anywhere, but I will probably stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that week. I'll see how I feel and what I'm going to play then. nearer the time. But yeah, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that week. Thursday, Christmas Eve, probably won't stream. Friday, Christmas Day, definitely won't. Boxing Day, pretty much definitely won't. Beyond that, I would say from Christmas Day through to New Year's Day, whatever happens, happens. Get the notifications on if you want to drop in on anything that happens. Normally, I would say I'm having a week off, and I might record a video ahead of time and put that up somewhere in the middle, but I'll be home this time, so I'll probably do something, but exactly what it might be, I don't know at this point. It's going to be very casual. And then with the new year rolling around, which is startlingly close already, we should have some refresh going on some bits and pieces on the channel, which will be cool. And yeah, diving back into it all, which I'm looking forward to. Bloody sod's law though, and the first time in years I get to be at home for New Year's Eve. Literally the first time in years. And we can't do anything. We'd normally have friends over or something like that. We can't bloody do it because of COVID, can we? Sucks. Being able to work should be classed as a disability. That much quality time wasted on it. Yeah, it's shocking. We need to rob from the rich and give to the poor. Where we can all work less. I do. There's a question of finite resources, but who knows? Anyhow, so I think it's time for me to wind down, get a fresh drink, and chill out for a bit before I dive back in and get started on Cyberpunk stuff. Same considerate, boss. Yeah, you want to be careful with things like that, though, Belinda, because I was saying for years that the ideal situation would be for me to stay home and for my employer to pay me anyway. Then COVID happened. I got put on furlough, and that was exactly what did happen. I stayed home and got paid anyway, which worked very, very well up until today, when it stopped working at all. So, yeah, careful what you wish for there. Mind you, on the other hand, now I'm here, so I guess it worked out for me, but clouds and silver linings and so on and so forth when life gives you lemons. But it did strike me as hugely ironic that that was the result of COVID in the short term to me. And it took a global pandemic to get me to not have to work for my money. I'm not lazy. Don't like doing it for somebody else. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to wind down and chill out for a bit before I jump into making some late night videos. So that should be fun. So, thank you all for hanging out tonight. Do hope you've had fun. It's, yeah. I really do admire the ability of the Steel Dawn DLC to get reactions out of people and to get people talking and thinking. Even if it's not necessarily the cheeriest thing in the world, it gets people talking and engaged. So short it might be, but that is a cool aspect of it. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next. As for the next Fallout stream, that's going to be Monday, so I do hope you hang out for Cyberpunk. Those who don't necessarily normally hang out for non-Fallout streams, we have a good time, we do the same sort of thing, we have a laugh, so I do hope you'll join. It's going to be an interesting game, I'm sure. It's going to be a very adult, hardcore kind of a game, though, so brace yourself for that. Might not want the kids around. So, social media links just under my noggin. If you want to catch up with me on Twitter, Instagram, or Facebook, do head on over there. You can find links down in the description if you want to save yourself some typing. Merch stores down there as well if you want to support the channel in that way, along with channel memberships. And Steve's kindly dropped it into chat for us already, so links there if you're interested. Still waiting on my merch, but looking forward to getting it. We've got a couple of bits, t-shirts and stuff, but looking forward to the hoodie. It's definitely a time of year where I need a decent hoodie. Looking forward to that. So, hopefully we'll have that before too long. Oh yes, there's the thing on the list I haven't said. Channel memberships on the blue join button as well. Thank you very much to the good few of you here tonight who have clicked that little button. Support is massively appreciated. Thank you very, very much for that. Very, very kind of you. Yeah, as I say, lots of cool stuff coming up, so I do hope you'll keep an eye out for it. Turn on notifications, all that good stuff, and join us for that. So, thank you all for hanging out. Have a good rest of your evening if you are facing towards bedtime. Have a cracking day if you're just getting up. Much appreciated, Ash. Have a good night. And yes, you all have a good night. I'll see you tomorrow. And with any luck, assuming my computer doesn't blow up in the meantime, which based on recent events is actually not inconceivable, then you'll be seeing me before I see you. See you then, folks. Have a good night. Cheers.